Hello, if you just went through the first setup on Redmi Note 14 Pro Plus 5G, and now you want to find out what should you do at first on this device, then let's get right into it. So first we're gonna go to the settings, and here at the top you should see the information that you can finish setting up the device or that the setup is in progress. So you want to select this option, and then we can go through this so that it doesn't appear anymore in the settings. And here's what we can do. So we're gonna press start. And some of these options will be pretty much the same as you saw in the first configuration. So you have pretty much another chance to go through the initial configuration and decide what you want to do if you skipped some things. So let's say I skipped setting up by using another device, so I can still do that again. But you can also skip one more time if you wish to. And let's see what we have next. So after a minute, I have the option to set up the password for the lock screen. So of course it is recommended to do so. You can choose between pattern, pin code, and password. So if you wish to, of course, choose one of these options. If you decide to skip one more time, then you can find these options again in the settings. So I'm gonna skip that, but feel free to use it again. And then we have the option once again to copy apps and data. So I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna skip this as well. Then we have Google Pay. I'm gonna skip it again. And then we have some options like changing the display size or the text size on the display, the wallpaper, or we can sign into another account. And I'm gonna choose no thanks. So pretty much the same steps that I did during the initial configuration, but as you can see now, that information about the setup is now gone. For me, it is personally annoying, so you can get rid of it by going through these steps again. Now, another thing that you should do is, of course, update your phone. So most likely you will see the update button next to the about phone. You can tap on it in order to download and install the newest version of the operating system. So I'm gonna choose download update, and now let's wait for the update to be downloaded. Of course, if you wish to, you can proceed and keep doing other stuff while it is being installed. And this is what we're gonna do. So in the meantime, what we can do is, if we go back, we can also check in the notifications, the progress. So the next thing that we can do is find Google, because if you want to sign up to another, sorry, not Google, actually, additional settings. But what I'm trying to say is, if you have another account that you wish to add on your phone, whether it is actually Google or anything else, like for instance Xiaomi account or Microsoft account, all of this can be done by going to additional settings, and then over here you can go to accounts and sync, and then here you can press add account in order to add your Google account, your OneDrive account, and so on. And if you're looking for Xiaomi account, then in this case we can find Xiaomi account in the main menu of the settings. So you can log in so that you have access to pretty much everything in the themes store. Alright, so let's see if the extracting is done. No, not yet. So I'm gonna wait for the extraction to be done so that I can actually update the system. Oh, and later on, if you actually want to set up the screen lock, then like I said, we can still find it in the settings. All you need to do is find fingerprints, face data, and screen lock. And over here, we can turn on the lock screen. We can set up the password. We can also go for the fingerprint sensor, so you can use your fingerprint in order to unlock your device, or you can use the face recognition feature. You can scan your face in order to unlock with it. Once it is done and ready to be installed, you should get a notification that the updates are ready to install, so you can tap on it in order to go back to the update, and then you need to simply reboot your device. So after you press the button, wait for the device to turn itself back on. There we go. After a few seconds, once it turns on, you should see the information that updated system successfully. So you can tap in order to see the information about the update and what is new. But now we can proceed with further stuff. So the next thing is still updating, but this time we're gonna update apps. So what we can do is go to the settings, and in the settings you can go to System Apps Updater in order to see if there is to be updated from here. So let's say we have themes and feedback that we can update. We can press update all, or we can update individually. We can also see all updates over here in order to find even more stuff. So I'm gonna I'm gonna update all, of course. And now we can wait for these updates to be done, or actually in the meantime we can go to another app, because we can also go to the Play Store, and that is of course if you actually have the Google account on your Redmi Note 14 Pro Plus 5G. So if you used your Google account, then of course you can find apps in the Google Play and you have access to it. And if you see this information that you need to verify your purchases instantly, so you can either use password or you can use biometrics. So this time I'm gonna actually set up the biometrics finally, so I'm gonna choose this one. I don't want to use password as I find it quite inconvenient, so we're gonna set up a simple PIN code. There we go. Press continue. So if you don't know how to set up the PIN code, then this is how you can do this. So simply use the PIN code that you wish to use, and there we go. Then we're gonna immediately go to the fingerprint. We have the information about the screen protector, that it might interfere with the fingerprint recognition, but it shouldn't be the issue in this case. So over here at the bottom we have the fingerprint scanner. So what you need to do is simply touch with your finger and then release the finger and keep touching this scanner, and try to touch it from different angles, of course, so that the whole finger is scanned, the whole fingerprint, so you don't have any issues with unlocking the device in the future. There we go. Now it is done, so we can press done. And here we have some settings, so if you wish to go through the fingerprint settings, then you can do that over here. I'm just gonna go back and we can press continue. Let's confirm. There we go. All right, and let's choose not now. So now in order to check for app updates, we can tap on our avatar in the top right corner, and then over here we can choose manage app and device, apps and device. And here we can see updates available. In my case, I have lots of updates pending, so we can tap on this text in order to see the list of all updates that we can perform. And you can also press update all to update everything at once. If you go to the downloads, in the pending downloads, then you can press update all over here, or you can press update for each of these apps individually. I'm gonna actually update everything at once, and now we have all apps updating. And there's actually one more app, but this app is, I believe, available only in certain regions, and that is the App Mall. It might have a different name as well, so depending on the region you might see it or not at all. And over here, if you go to the profile, you can see updates here as well. And I'm not sure if everything is the same as in the Play Store, so some of these updates can overlap. So I can recommend you first using the Google Play Store and update everything that is in Google Play. And once that is done, you can go to this app over here and then update everything that is left here. However, at the same time, as you can see, we have some bloatware, so apps that have been pre-installed on this device, which are, well, not useful at all, let's call it that way. Most of them are some games. And this will be our next step, actually, to remove everything that has been installed on this device that we will never use. And there are quite a bit of these apps. So for instance, in my case, it is, for instance, the Amazon shopping, because I don't use Amazon. So you can press and hold the finger on the app, and then you should see the trash icon. Once you tap on it, then you can confirm that you want to uninstall the app, and it is gone. And you can do that one by one by going through the app drawer, or alternatively, you can also go to the settings. In the settings, you need to go to apps, and then go to manage apps. And over here, we should see the list of all apps that we have installed. So now here we can tap on the app that we wish to uninstall and then press uninstall. So here are some of the apps that I'm gonna uninstall. You can follow me and uninstall the same thing. Of course, if you find something actually useful that I uninstalled, then, well, you can just skip it. And for some reason, I cannot uninstall this app over here, so let's try from the, okay, gone. So In some cases, you need to wait like a couple of seconds before it is actually uninstalled. So we have some bubble shooter, so I don't need it. So let's uninstall this. And booking.com, well, I assume some people might use it for traveling, but if I need it and I actually install it, I can actually install it again. Let's proceed with this. This is another game, so we can get rid of it. I accidentally left that menu. Let's go back. Let's see what else we have. There we go, another game. We don't need it here. There is also LinkedIn. Let's see. Have Netflix, OneDrive, Opera, which is a browser, so some of you might actually use it. So if you prefer to use, for instance, like Chrome browser or something, then you can uninstall the Opera. In my case, I actually prefer Chrome on my smartphone, so I can get rid of this and this pre-installed data as well. We don't need it. Let's proceed. There we go, another game that we can get rid of. Spotify, TikTok, Tile Fun. Okay, so another game. So as you can see, there is quite a bit of them, but we can fortunately easily uninstall them. And well, WPS Office, I don't need this anyway, so I can get rid of this as well. And probably for some of you, TikTok you might want to uninstall it as well. All right, so I think I removed nearly everything. I'm gonna actually uninstall AliExpress as well. So I think I removed pretty much everything that I won't ever need. So now we should be good to proceed. Okay, so let's see the updates. I think the updates should be done now. Now they are still in progress. Okay, so in the meantime, what we can do is, for instance, disable the wallpaper carousel. So if you have this enabled, and what it does is, if you turn on the lock screen, you will see, sometimes you will see a different wallpaper. So now, as you can see, it has changed. And we can actually get rid of this. I personally prefer to have just one wallpaper in the lock screen that I set up. So if you want to get rid of this, what you need to do is open the settings, go to the lock screen, and then over here go to wallpaper carousel, and you want to turn it off. And then confirm that you want to actually wait. Would you like to add your own photos to wallpaper carousel? So no, we want to choose no thanks. Over here, they are asking us to submit the opinion. So we can choose, I only want to see my own photos, or I actually prefer to choose my own wallpapers and then submit. All right. And now the carousel should be gone. We should see the default wallpaper. There we go. So this is how we can get rid of it. Now we're gonna go to the battery settings as well. And over here in battery settings, we can go to battery protection. Now, over here we have some charging protection options. And actually the optimized charging option is selected by default, it seems, so quite convenient, I would say. But of course, this is up to personal preference, because if you choose regular charging, you will allow the device to charge up to 100%, so a pretty standard option. You can also go to optimize charging in order to adjust the charging of the battery. So sometimes it might not reach 100%, it might be stuck at 80, or it might learn the usage of the pattern usage of this device, and it will automatically slow down battery aging by enabling, for instance, the nighttime charging protection. So I believe that most of the time, or most users should choose at least this optimized charging option in order to prevent battery aging. But if you actually to fully protect the battery, then you have the battery protection option, where the battery level will reach only 80% when the charging. It will not exceed that, and the reason for this is because nowadays most of the batteries are optimized to be at something between 10 or 20% up to 80%. This is when the battery is most optimized and prevents battery aging. So of course, if you still prefer to have 100% battery when you charge it, then sure, just go for the optimized charging option or just even the regular charging. But like I said, I can recommend enabling the battery charging protection. Okay, so now that we have once that we have covered, the next thing that we can do is disable app suggestions in the app drawer. So if you use app drawer, then over here at the top, as you can see, we have suggestions made by the device. We can tap on this gear icon in the top right corner, and here we can disable app suggestions. So now we have only the list of apps and there are no suggestions at all. Okay, so now the last thing that we can do is disable some annoying ads that appear in some apps that are pre-installed. All right, so let's start with the App Vault. So if you have App Vault, you can open it. And then over here, tap on these three dots in the top right corner, go to Manage Services, and over here you can disable Promotion and App Suggestions. Then the next thing is Downloads. If you open Downloads, then you can tap on these three dots in the top right corner, go to Settings, and over here you want to disable Show Recommended Content, and then confirm that you want to do that. Then we can go to MI Video if you have this app, and we're gonna switch to Profile, then tap on the setting gear in the top right corner, and now over here we can disable personalized recommendations and even some of the push notifications, so we can turn them off over here if you don't want to be bothered by this app. We can also go to Popular Today and disable it, and the same goes with this Scan for New Local Videos. And I think that is pretty all. Okay, so now we can go back. Let's exit the app, and now we're gonna go to Music. As you can see, we have the ad at the bottom, we can skip it. Then over here, tap on this icon in the top left corner with the sliders and go to Settings. And here go to Advanced Settings. And here we can disable Show Ads, Online Recommendations, and Personalized Recommendations. If you go back, then over here you also have the Allow Permanent Notifications, so we can disable this. Personally, I was annoyed with the notifications made by this app, so I decided to turn it off. Then we have the Security app. Over here, tap on this gear icon in the top right corner. Here, disable Receive Notifications, go to Cleaner, and in the Cleaner you can also disable Receive Recommendations option. And last but not least, we have the Themes app. Over here, skip it, of course. Go to My Account in the bottom right corner, and then Settings in the top left corner. And then we can disable Show Ads and Personalized Recommendations. There we go. Okay, and that is pretty much all in terms of the ads, but we can also go to the settings. And what I like to do is go to Notifications and Status Bar, and go to the app notifications, and I like to disable some of the app notifications, more precisely Themes, MI Video, and Music. I find them annoying because they appear quite often, unfortunately, so we can turn them off and not be bothered with the notifications. And there's also App Vault, which we can also disable, and I think that is all. There's also Get Apps, so this is like the app mode that I had shown you. That is the region dependent, I guess. So I can turn it off as well. And I think that should be all. Although this one also informs you about updates for apps, so it is up to you. But I don't like it, so I can turn it off. All right, so ads should be gone in most cases at least, because in some cases we cannot unfortunately disable those ads. But whenever we wanted to and we could, we did. So that is pretty much all done. But I want to actually show you one more thing, and this is for navigation. So by default, I believe you have those buttons that you can see at the bottom of the screen. So you might want to go to the settings, and in the settings, we can switch to gestures. So in the settings, go to the home screen, scroll down and find system navigation, and then over here we can switch to gestures. If you don't know how to use gestures, then you can press learn in order to find out how to use it. If you already know, then you can press not now, and instead of buttons now we have gestures. If you use buttons, you can also mirror buttons so that you have the back button on the left side instead of the right side. And that is it. Thanks for watching, leave a like and subscribe to my channel, and see you in my next videos. Bye.